serikali yafaa kuimarisha upande wa security. Unajua haswa hiyo ndio shida ambayo imewafukuza watu. Serikali wakisha imarisha upande wa security, tafikiria tutapata watalii kwa wengi.
To boost tourism sector is to have security operators working. One. Two, there's a lot of laxity in the security sector. This is what I'm seeing, because maybe there's a communication breakdown in between the bosses. Like, for example, you had Kimayo said he does not want tainted vehicles. Another unit came said, you carry on with tainted vehicles. Kimayo has no power to stop that. So from there, the way from the look of things, you find there's something at least cooking within the forces.
I would advise for communication from the government to the tourism sectors and the tourists. Try to show them that everything is fine. It's not as bad as it's being made out to be, and that you'll provide enough security for them to be here and they'll be safe as they still enjoy their vacations and all.
Well, actually that approach is very unfortunate for Kenya, looking at how the impact of tourism in the national economy is very unfortunate. Yes, I know that Kenya is facing a very difficult moment, but I think the problem Kenya is facing is not only for Kenyans, is a global issue. It's a global issue. And the approach to the West about that is very bad. It's very bad. I think they should help Kenya the way out to come from this situation than to ask all tourists to move from the nation. Because the problem of terrorism is in Europe, is in England, is in America, is everywhere. So if you ask them to move here, they can go there and be attacked again. So I think that is a very bad approach of the West.
Actually, on the tourism sector, currently at the moment, I think it is not really rocket science for anybody to know that we are having issues with the insecurity in the country as a whole. But this has just been brought also, it has been magnified by the Western countries giving travel advice, what do we call it, travel advisory against coming to Kenya for their citizens. But I don't think Kenya is so much insecure as such. Yeah, because to me I believe these are just there are pockets here and there, but the main thing is the terrorism. If we can all work as a team and bring it to a manageable level, then the government, I think, will just bring down the issue of the insecurity to a manageable level.
It's unfortunate that the outside countries had to call the call of the visitation of this country. To me, I think the country should do a lot. They should do a lot in as far as security is concerned. They should do a lot in as far as rates given to investors. You know, investors, if they are given on the lower side the rates, they can come and invest in our country. So I think the government should see a possible way of reducing taxes that are given to people who are visiting us. And then also they should also promote local tourism.
We should visit our places by ourselves. They are not for them. We should be in the forefront, Kenyan for Kenyans. So we should do that such that even if they don't come in those large numbers, our tourism sector can still survive. But in the other hand, everyone should take his or her part. If you are staying with someone you are not very sure of what he or she is doing, it's good to report.
Even if we embrace the domestic tourism, what we need is the foreign exchange. How will we get the foreign exchange? What the domestic tourism part of it will be just a dot in the ocean to us. It will not really sustain the employment to the entire population that we now see at the coast, who are now having issues of losing their jobs here and there. So domestic tourism should just be to add up to the influx of the tourism from outside the country.
There are blogs and pages on the net I would advise Kenyans to leave feedback on places you've been, because a lot of people travel, like we do, like individual travelings to different places, and a lot of people don't leave their feedback. So if a Kenyan would say where they were or what they did, would help out in other tourists to see that if you guys are enjoying your country, we can come enjoy your country too.
Even in the most developed countries, at one time or another, they face such challenges.
A travel advisory sometimes, to me, is just out to scare people. Kenya is a beautiful country. Kenya, when people talk of travel advisories, I'm standing in the center of Nairobi. If you look in TV, people are going about their daily work. A travel advisory sometimes, to me, is just out to scare people. And everywhere in the world. Some years ago in London, the train station was bombed. In the US, they had something which has never been seen anywhere again in the world. So a travel advisory should actually be something with facts. When you tell somebody, don't go to a certain place, please have your facts. If we walk around in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, things happen. 2, 3 grenades, which so far we were to calculate the grenades, how many people have they killed? It's very minimal compared even to the road accidents anywhere else in the world. But I would like to kindly say, we as Kenyans, number one, security starts with us. If you think your neighbor is doing something wrong, tell the law enforcement to deal with it. As for tourists, I'm still waiting to see somewhere where even with the travel advisory that any of these incidents happened in a hotel. They're all happening in bus stops. And our tourists come to our beaches, which are beautiful. They come to our wildlife sanctuaries. They're beautiful. Let them come. And also you Kenyans, let's not be afraid to travel and see what the foreigners come to see in this country. Let's take time out. I know we work so hard, but let's even learn a culture of saving. And those in hotels and wherever, give us a discount and let us come in.
Of course, each and every Kenyan, because this thing starts with us, it does not start with foreigners or anybody. It is about us as Kenyans, all the 40 million plus Kenyans. Each one of us must be responsible for our security. And also, we should also be good ambassadors for our country. Kenya has been an island of peace, and we would like Kenya to continue to be an island of peace where it attracts all tourists from all over the world, and also all leaders must be visiting Kenya. So the thing is, we should actually, all of us or each of us must be responsible on security matters and also to attract tourism. I'm happy that the leader of the opposition in this country, Right Honorable former Prime Minister, has been outside the country for a very long time. I hope one of his responsibilities when he was out there was to market Kenya, so that many tourists, as an island of peace, could come Kenya and also maybe visit Kenya, bring those foreign currencies, so that we can also improve our economy. We cannot operate in isolation. We must coexist with other countries within Africa and also other countries all over the world.
Recently, they say that they want to encourage the local tourism. But they are encouraging it, but not all Kenyans are actually able to afford such expenses. These things are expensive. They should reduce it so that Kenyans can support their own tourism.
We have to know who we are involving ourselves with, maybe in the bus who you're sitting next to, in your estate, whom you're living next to. All those things you need to know. Even as a student in class, you need to know who the people in your campus, whoever is there. And also, to bring back the tourists, you need to show them that our country is safe. Maybe as the citizens, we tour our own country to show them that it's a safe place and it's a beautiful place to be in.
The solution for tourism is that, first of all, we need security. Security. We look for ways of handling the terrorism. We create good hotels. We create the atmosphere, Kenyan atmosphere. It will allow the tourism to come.
But since there is no security, we don't expect them to come because they will not be sure of where they are going.
Even in the most developed countries, at one time or another, they faced such challenges. And it is out of these challenges that they are able to come up with good security systems, infrastructures, because of challenges. We have never been challenged to this extent before as a country. So what I would advise the government is to invest heavily on security. Yeah, to invest heavily on security and wisely.
Kenyans are very creative, and especially the youth. We always have things going on, especially over the weekends. We just had Rhino Charge, we had something like Fafa, which were basically stuff for a good cause. I think that we should really, I might be a little bit biased when I say that we should try and empower really the entertainment and media industry, because there's a lot of people who don't have jobs, and there's a lot of people who can create stuff that can be put on a platform. Like Kenya is now digital, you can put it out there and people can get something that they can come and see, because tourism is more about the culture. People go to South Africa for the beach and for the music and for the arts.
Upande wa usalama unaanziana na mimi na wewe. Vile serikali walianza juzi wakasema yafaa tujue mwenye unakaa na yeye ni mtu wa aina gani na ni nani huyo. Kitu cha kwanza yafaa sisi tuichukulie, kwa sababu tukiwajelea upande wa serikali hawatajua, lakini sisi tukiwa raia yafaa tujue nini kinaendelea, na mwenye uko naye ni nani, mwenye unaishi naye ni nani, mwenye uko naye pamoja ni nani, ili sisi tusaidie upande wa serikali kwa ripoti.